Welcome back to my morning report chart appraisals on Friday the 11th of May with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets. Let's have a look at cable, which has sort of consolidated really. We had that Bank of England meeting yesterday where the Bank of England again, didn't raise rates, which was largely anticipated after the last few weeks, certainly anyway. It cut growth forecasts, cut inflation forecasts, but the Bank of England said everything's still fine. Odd. And yeah, so Sterling didn't really know how to react to that, and it did underperform though quite considerably because you saw across the forex space the dollar struggling, but cables sort of formed a slightly but negative candle, but you could argue sort of still consolidating following on from that downtrend breach. It certainly doesn't look as though cable is sort of embarking upon a decisive recovery yet, because of that Bank of England move. The market sort of might take a couple of days to really assess what the actual outlook is now. But 36.17 was the reaction high, because 36.17 had been, the market had been sort of pushing out higher ahead of the Bank of England, and it's just been sort of cut back a little bit. But it was interesting that 34.55, which was the old reaction low from January, that remains intact as a support, and the market's held on to that, and you sort of got a consolidation, I suppose, on the momentum indicators, although they are still negatively configured. They're sort of not necessarily as precipitous into the selling pressure as they have been previously. This seems to be a bit of a consolidation move, and I'm not really suggesting either way that they're going to get a decisive breakdown, because 34.55 is your key support near term. But you'd need to see a breakout above 36.15, really, yesterday's sort of reaction high, to really suggest that there was some sort of traction in a recovery, and you're sort of not really getting that at all yet. It seems as though that the hourly chart is very much neutrally configured between sort of 30 and sort of low 30s and sort of mid 60s, low mid 60s on the RSI, so nothing really decisive in terms of direction. Momentum indicators and moving averages all pretty neutral, so you're not really getting much on cable at the moment. And today's tick higher, 10 pips, again doesn't really give you too much either. So until you get a decisive breakdown of 34.55 or break higher through sort of, well, I'm now taking it as 35.15, then you're not really seeing too much by way of recovery or breakdown. 37.10 remains the key near-term resistance overhead supply of that key March low. But yeah, stable sort of moves on cable at the moment, and yeah, nothing too much in terms of direction. So I wish you good luck in your trading. I'll speak to you later.